Hey everyone, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Mike Nolan, and tonight we give you our very first tutorial. Tonight we're going to be looking at the professional video editing app LumaFusion, and we're going to actually edit the very end card that we'll use for this video. But first, a big shout out to all our new subscribers, all those great thumbs ups we've been getting, all the views. It's been great. As you know, we're in phase 3, reaching our third goal in trying to get our first 100 subscribers. Please give us a thumbs up. That helps the YouTube algorithm recognize us better and all of that, of course. But also, consider hitting that subscribe to the tribe and hit that top bell notification, and you'll be notified of all future videos. Now, back to our tutorial on editing an end card in LumaFusion on my 12.9-inch iPad Pro. So since I already gave you a good look at how my dock is set up, let's take a look at my dock and let's focus on the apps we're going to be looking at tonight. And one of the apps we're going to be looking at tonight is Photos. And Photos is a very important native app on the iPad that you can use to help you edit family videos or a YouTube video. So we'll be looking at that. A couple of taps and we're in. Now for tonight's tutorial, I have chosen a 14-second clip that was shot on a family vacation. And the reason I'm using 14 seconds is because YouTube gives you about 20 seconds to develop an end card. I remind you, the basic editing here will help you even with family videos and all of that. But if you want to develop an end card for any YouTube activity, this tutorial will be, I think, a great help. So let's take a look at this clip. Now this is video from a very recent family vacation, so I've chosen a 14-second clip. Now YouTube gives you 20 seconds to edit an end card, okay? And the reason I've chosen only 14 seconds is for a very good reason. One of the reasons you want a good end card is to have people tap on other videos that you may want to present to them, right? So how do you entice them to get all the way to your end card? One nifty little trick is choose a shorter time than 20 seconds, and that way these windows will hover toward the end of your video, and that gets people contemplating whether they want to subscribe or click to another video. So let's start editing the clip, shall we? Okay, we've reviewed it. It's what we want to use, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. That looks like a clipboard. Let's see. Well, my goodness, it is. And we're going to hit copy. And then we're going to go down to this icon in the corner, and this brings us to all of our past projects, but we also know that we can add a new project. So let's go ahead and tap on that, and this is where we can name our project. I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and tonight's title will be Our First Tutorial, and 2 spaces, and this is the second part of the title. Editing in LumaFusion. At this point, we take a look. Frame rate based on the first video. That's the easiest way to go. Aspect ratio based on the first video. See, what this is doing is setting up this new project in LumaFusion based on basically what you're going to drag into it. Okay, so we hit plus, and there we are. We're into our new project. Okay, so what we want to do is now go back to our project switcher to where we were. So now we're about ready to edit. Once again, let's go down to the clipboard like we did before, and this time we're going to hit paste because we copied that file prior. So we're going to hit that, and we see it drops in. Really that simple. So if we double tap this, we're at the beginning of that file, and we're ready to review it for this particular project. Okay, so let's start editing this video clip. So once again, we're here. We're going to just tap once. Otherwise, you'll go to somewhere you're not ready to go. A double tap will lead you to an editing window. Right now, we just want to highlight it. Okay, so now we're going to add some extra touches to this little bit of video. So the way we do that is, if you follow my cursor here and come down here to the plus sign, when you hit that, you've got several options. You can provide a voiceover here. You can add a transition to that clip, which we will be using quite shortly here. We're going to add a main title to this. Double tap, and as you can see, it's added right in front of the clip. And that's okay for right now. We're going to highlight it and double tap. It brings us to text. Okay, so double tap the text up here. Here you can see it's highlighted. Hit delete and go ahead and type what you want on your first line. So here I always type the bottom line. Okay, that looks good. And I'm okay with that. Double tap outside the field and it brings you to here. So what we're going to do is we're now going to go back to our clip, back to our timeline. All you have to do is click on this, drag it, put it on top, and this goes over your video showing only what you typed. Okay, so the reason I've got it set off, we might bring this up a little bit closer, maybe right there. Good. Now we can see if we double tap to the beginning, there you go. Now, if we go to review it, we'll see that there it is. The bottom line pops up just a little bit after, and everything looks fine. Now, at this point, we might just tidy this up. And if you see these arrows, what you can do is tap on it and just drag it to the end here so that they both marry up. Now, what do? We double tap to get to the beginning. We make sure nothing's highlighted, and we come back down to the plus sign. And here we go again. We're going to add another main title. Of course, it goes to the front of the clip, but right now what we want to do is type what's going to go on it. Double tapping brings you to the editing window. Double tap on your text here. Of course, it's up here. Simple delete on your full-size 12.9-inch Magic Keyboard. And we're going to bring in my name because it's my channel. So Michael Noland. I think that's how I spell my name. Okay, so there we go. And double tap outside the window, and that's what we got there. Go back to the timeline. Now we're going to look at our editor here, and actually what I want to do is bring this, I'm going to bring this up, but then I'm also going to grab this one, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on top of this one. And so I'm going to drag this down here-ish, and then bring this one down slightly there. So now what we do is we hit the review and what's coming up. First Michael Nolan, then the bottom line, and it looks like gibberish, right? So here, once again, let's shore these up to the video. Don't shore the video up to these. The video is the length you want this to be, so always marry them up on top. So now we need to add one more element. This probably should have been the very first title card that we added, but that's the magic of LumaFusion. You can edit out of order and just be creative. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so let's take a look at this, and we're going to tap on the plus sign again, and we're going to add one more. And this time we're going to explore shapes. And this is a shape that I like, but you could put any of these out there, see? Okay, but I like this. Everybody recognizes that. There's where my text should be. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And once again, let's grab that and drag it on top. Now this is why most people would maybe edit this card first, and I have done so in the past. I'm going to go ahead and advance this to equal my first card here. And of course, this is always easy. So now it should come on identical with the word Michael Nolan, and then following right after, of course, the bottom line. Now at this point, I want Michael to come in after. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring him in about here, and I've changed my mind. This one we're going to bring in just shortly before that. We'll see how that works out. So now let's take a look at our first title card. Double tap it. And here's where we can decide how large these individual layers are. We've got our layers in place, okay? They're married up, that's all great. We could place them, we could size them, and we will be dealing with resizing here. At this point, I just wanted to give you an idea. That's a real simple, basic edit, and we could go further with it, and you'll see how we could go further with it with what we're gonna do now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double tap I am going to highlight this clip and I'm going to put it in the garbage. And I'm going to highlight this title card and I'm going to put it in the garbage. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to the top of here, and then I'm going to choose another way of editing an end card. So right here you've got your text. Double tap it and there you go. There's your text here as before. Delete that. Don't highlight the window. It's still there, but there's no reason to even delete it. Leave it there if you're in a hurry. Now up here we've got choices of shape. We can choose this to go over our chosen video clip. You could do here and add text, see? So there's no reason to pre-add text, especially when you're developing an end card. So we can choose, we can try them on for size. And by the way, since we're here, let's go here. That'll give me a better idea of what we're editing, right? So once again, double tap. Now I've still got full editing capabilities here. Sit up and behave. So I can still do what I need to do down here and review it on my screen, which is exactly why I have my large screen, is for video editing. Let's take a look at some of the choices here. Here's the one I always choose. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose that. I'm comfortable with that. And let's take a look at what we can do here. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 layers. This one, we're going to take a look, and we're going to use this one to type in the title of our end card. Of course, we're the bottom line. And so I'm going to go ahead and give that a double tap. And of course, here we are again up here. So we're basically going to use these 3 editable areas. Now this one highlighted, we'll double click, and we're going to go ahead and put that at the top. And then we'll use a trick you've already learned, okay? So this title card shape provides you one field for text. So let's go ahead and type the bottom line here. How's my spelling, folks? Okay, good. And I'm going to bring this up here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that right up here. Center it a little better. All right, there we go. I'm happy with that so far. I'm going to go ahead and click out on that, and I'm going to look at the face color. That's black. I like that. That's good. On a gray background, that's going to show up good. So everything's good there. And I'm going to come down here, and I could adjust the line spacing. See? But that looks okay there. That's a little bit better. Okay, I'm glad I paid attention. And so I'm happy with that. That looks good to me. All right, so then we're going to take a look at general sizes here. I'm going to resize this window. So now I'm thinking, give it a good chunk of space up here, okay? All right, and then highlight that, and while you got it, might as well grab it, put it there for right now. And then let's bring our third field in here, and I'm just going to align this with my back field. Now I can hit the bottom line. Let's take a look at the sizing. Yeah, there we go. And of course I do that down here. And if you want to micromanage your sizing, of course, as I've demonstrated in the past, you can use your Apple II pen and increase the sizes either that way or this way. So let's go ahead and fine tune this. Okay, I want it a little bit bigger. I'm gonna have my name under there, so I want it to be bigger than my name. Channel first, always. So there we go. Now we double tap out. This is what we've got so far. And we're gonna grab a hold of this. We're gonna bring this over, okay? As we've said before, we want this to appear later in the clip, and that's probably a little too soon. So let's bring it in right here. There you go. All right. We can live with that for right now. Now we marry up the ends. So far we have a title. Ooh, the bottom line. Okay, we're getting close, folks. Now we're gonna go back to a trick we've already explained in the tutorial. So let's take a look at this. Hit that plus sign again down here, and now you're gonna add a title card. So let's double tap that and double tap the field as we have in the past. Double tap this, and there's your editing window for typing. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to type in my name, Michael Nolan. And I'm going to click out of this, but now I'm going to highlight it, and I want to take a look at some of the aspects of this. Face color. Yeah, white's not going to do it, is it? So I'm going to bring in, let's see, how does that look? This is a medium gray, and so it should offset the darker bottom line, and that just adds a bit of gloss to what we're doing. So I'm happy with that. That looks good. And of course, we're going to go down to the timeline again, okay? And we can fine tune that as we go. And of course, that's out of alignment, but let's double tap and let's just make sure that it comes after what we've already edited in. There we go. The bottom line comes in at the exact same time too. So let's get back to that. But we do have this, and of course, we're going to extend it to the end. And we'll get back to this shortly. Now, the other thing I've decided is I kind of want the bottom line to kind of come in separate from the card. And that's an easy thing to correct. All we're going to do is double tap our shape window here. I'm going to double tap that and click on it, double click on it, and edit that puppy out of here. I don't even want to waste the time to delete it. So what we're going to do here is go back to the beginning of our clip, and we're going to add another title card. So here it is again in all its glory, and this time it pops up here. So all we have to do is just kind of find a place, and remember, this is going to be before. So I'm going to put this here, and we could always stack them on top, you know, to make it look good, but I'm comfortable working in a messy environment. So let's review on the timeline the sequence of events. We have video, then we have the shape, then we have a text coming in, and then we have my name. We double tap, and here we are back to the text, and this is where I'm adding the title, the bottom line. That's good. Disengage there. Now just grab it, bring it up here. Okay, and now we go down to here, and we choose a face color. This time we're going to go ahead with the full black like we did before, okay? Well, I'm happy with that. And now we'll adjust the sizing. Okay. We can move it around here, the bottom line. And we can also adjust the line spacing here, see? And of course you could do that with your Apple Pencil too. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. And now we're going to go down to this editing card that has my name. Okay, so the first thing we do is we highlight this. We bring it into the area that I'm going to go ahead a little bit darker in the gray this time. There you go. Not quite the black of the bottom line. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to deal with the opacity down here. See? So I can actually lighten that darker gray to the precise point I want it. So I'm happy with that. Now let's take a look at the size. Say I want it slightly smaller than the bottom line. It's getting pretty close, maybe a tad smaller. We're going to move that right here, and I'm going to bring the size down even further and then move it slightly. We've got the basic layout. Now we can see, if we go to the bottom, here's the footage, here's the gray, there's the bottom line. And so now let's go back and review. We have there, 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 there. And right there, I can tell immediately I don't like the way that's centered. So let's go back, and first of all, the bottom line should be centered, I'd say right about there. Okay? All right. Back out, tap on Michael Nolan. Let's get Michael in shape here. We're gonna bring him and give him some space. There you go. And that's fine, and we're out. Now we can see our events folding the way we want them to. Now we're going to start adding transitions. So you highlight the clip, you want to add a transition, you go to that familiar plus button and you hit a transition. This will give you a cross dissolve. And here's what your video would look like. Okay, that was pretty quick. So we're going to double click this and we're going to hit this arrow and we're going to bring that in more. Now if you notice here, all of these have these lines connected, and that's because basically they're linked. Okay, so I want to edit this cross dissolve. I'm going to delink these guys, and I just want to deal with the cross dissolve. Yeah, that's longer. So I've gotten rid of the cross dissolve, and I've brought my original clip to where, okay, that's what I want. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add a transition. There we go. All right, now I can edit how long that transition takes. We'll see how it works here. And the reason we're going to use a quick dissolve on this one is we're going to marry up some of this stuff in our end card with our actual video. Okay, so that concludes our video for tonight, our very first tutorial. So if you got anything out of it, please give us a thumbs up. And also, don't forget, we're on our third goal, phase 3 at the bottom line, and that is to get our first 100 subscribers. And so we encourage everyone to be sure to hit that subscribe to the tribe, and don't forget to hit that top bell notification, and you'll be notified of all future videos coming your way.